Okay, guys, I'm going to backtrack a little bit because I just want to go back to after the reunion. So there was a lot of speculations as to who Teresa could have spoken to that led her to believe that Melissa and Joe spoke with the feds, which resulted in Teresa and Joe Giudice indictment, according to Teresa, but we all know that this is not true. You have to recall that Teresa has accused Jacqueline and Caroline as well to be the culprit, and now recently she accused Melissa and her brother Joe. So Teresa said to Andy that she had spoken with Jacqueline, and she also said that she had spoken with the FBI. If you recall, she said, Andy, I spoke with the FBI. So a few months ago, I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but Joe Giudice, he did a podcast with David Yontef on Behind the Velvet Rope. And he stated that he knows of someone that is an ex-FBI agent. So I did some digging, guys, and I went back to my archives. And I just wanted to say that I will put it on my Substack because, it seems like things tend to be scrapped off of the internet these days. So I just want to make sure that I make this available to you guys in case it was to disappear. So if you want to see the screenshot, it will be on there. And by the way, my Substack is housewivesrelatable.substack.com. Okay, so housewivesrelatable.substack.com. So I'm going to read you a little bit of an extract of Teresa's book, Turning the Tables from Housewives to Inmate and Back Again. I'm not sure which page of the book it is exactly because I found it online. I did not buy that book. I have her cookbooks though, but I don't have that book. So I'm assuming it's in the prologue. So here it is. I had been dreading this moment for more than a year, but here I was finally on my way to prison. After saying goodbye to the loves of my life, my husband Joe, and my 4 daughters, Gia, Gabriella, Melania, and Adriana, my lawyer, James J. Leonard Jr., drove me to the Federal Correctional Institution in Danbury, Connecticut, from my house in New Jersey, so I could surrender myself to the Federal Bureau of Prisons. The prison would be my home for the next year of my life. No amount of preparation could have gotten me ready for this moment. I was supposed to turn myself in at noon on January 5th, 2015, but James, who I call Jim, had talked to prison officials about letting me turn myself in earlier, in the middle of the night, so my daughters wouldn't have to deal with the swarm of reporters, photographers, news vans, and TV cameras we knew would be lying in waiting outside my house the morning I was scheduled to surrender. I didn't want them to ambush my family with their popping flashbulbs and intrusive questions. It made me mad that I had to give up my last few precious hours with my family because of the media and the paparazzi. But I knew I had to do what was best for my girls. During our almost 2-hour drive to the prison, a white van chased us for a bit on Interstate 287 North in New York. Before I could duck out of sight, a pap who was riding in the back of the van snapped some pictures of me, Jim, and a friend of his named Mike, a former FBI agent he had brought along for security. I still have no idea who that was, since I don't believe those pictures ever saw the light of day. Good. Well, I just want to say that I do have those pictures here, and I'll be putting them in the Substack as well. So in those pictures, you can clearly see Jim in the car, the Denali, and his friend that is sitting in the front of the car with him holding a cell phone. So I'm assuming the friend is that ex-FBI agent sitting in the front of the car. So I'll be putting those pictures in the Substack as well. So I don't know how many ex-FBI agents people will encounter in their lives, but based on what Joe and Teresa have said, I can only assume that they were speaking about the gentleman in the picture.